Good morning, friends. Welcome to Akulmach, and today is September 14th. And in this program, which is called This Day, That Year, we bring some of the selected historic incident that has happened today, previously in history, but these incidents are selected, handpicked, because these incidents changed the world. Before we start our discussion today, I must tell you that we are live across social media. So if you have any comments or any suggestion, you can send it across and we will display your messages along with your name and also answer that, so it will be more interactive. And now let's start, but I would also like to tell you about the Akulmach Masterclass, which is starting on October 10th. Now this is a masterclass for young entrepreneurs, business people, and also managers working for large corporations who want to reinvent their career. We have 8 sessions as part of this masterclass, 1 hour every day. During this masterclass, we will discuss what are the new ways of generating business, especially in the digital age. And there are a lot of other concepts that we are going to discuss, things like how to create a pipeline, how do you interface, how do you do networking. There are a whole lot of subjects that we are going to discuss and also train you about. So you can go to our website akulmach.com and hit the workshop section and go and learn more about this particular plan, which is starting on October 10th. I wish you join this, register your place, also use this promo code to avail the discount. All right, so let's proceed further and dive deep into our program, which is This Day, That Year. Friends, the first information that we have is coming from the US, and this is about the president Theodore Roosevelt. You know that he was one of the very popular president, and he became the youngest president in the history of United States at the age of 42. And this was today. He was sworn in on September 14th in the year 1901. So he became the youngest president. He actually belonged to the elite class. He was born in a rich family in New York. Prior to becoming the president of the United States, he was also governor of the New York State. So he had a prominent place in history, but I think he is a record holder of becoming the youngest president at the age of 42 of the United States, and that happened today in the year 1901. So let's move on to the next one. Well, this is about the biggest air machine ever to fly, so far, until the 21st century, and that is the airship. And let me take you back to the era of airships. These are basically huge balloon type structure made of lightweight aluminum and covered by a very strong fabric. And these flying ships used to have tanks filled with light gas. So what will happen is that if you fill the tanks of this airship with light gas like hydrogen or helium, since hydrogen and helium are lighter than air, that filling of the gas will make it lighter than air, and hence the airship will rise above the ground. That was the process of making these huge bodies airborne. And then underneath you can put any sort of structure. You can put a cockpit where pilot and the crew can function. Inside that, at the bottom, you can put you can create quarters where passengers can sleep. And since these airships used to be huge and they used to fly slowly, not so fast, so the life at the inside these airship used to be very, very comfortable, no noise at all, and you will gently float over the surface, examining the beauty of Mother Earth. And these are the ships which are very popular among the elite class. The Germans were the leaders in creating these airship. In fact, they built some of the largest one. In fact, the record holder is the Graf Zeppelin II. The surprising part is that in those days, Germans did not have the technology to produce helium, to extract helium from the rocks. We know that the hydrogen and helium are the gases which cannot survive in the atmosphere. They will, if they are released as gas in the atmosphere, the earth gravity cannot hold them. So you will not find any trace of helium or hydrogen in the atmosphere. You have to use some other method to extract helium from the ground or from some other source, rocks, etc., because there is still a lot of hydrogen and helium trapped in these rocks. That technology in the 1920s and 30s was perfected by the United States. And hydrogen being an inflammable gas, that means it will catch fire. In case it mixes with oxygen, it will burn instantly. And you know that in the rocket today, the hydrogen is used as the most potent fuel. I mean, the hydrogen is used as a fuel. So filling your airship with hydrogen is the recipe of disaster in the first place. But since Germans were obsessed with building, big things, and they did not had an agreement for helium technology transfer or even producing helium, what they were doing is they were compromising and filling their airship with hydrogen. And hydrogen is, you can extract hydrogen from water, from several sources. So it's easier to extract hydrogen. And since helium is a noble gas, it does not form any compound. So that is a very difficult, process to extract helium from the natural rocks, etc. So, Germans were compromising, and they were filling their airships with with hydrogen in absence of helium, and they were building them large. That means a lot of hydrogen was filled into these large airships, and these airships was mostly used by the elite class. So all the rich and famous creme de la creme of Germany, they were using it, buying these expensive tickets to fly and float across over the ground and examine and have a gala time, spending their good amount of time, etc. So it used to have crew of about 20-30 people, and the luxuries were available. They were served champagne, and the sleeping quarters used to be very comfortable. So it was it is not flight like today, where you are cramped in an economy or cattle class. This airship could provide a lot of luxurious air travel in those days. Unfortunately, Graf Zeppelin met with an accident, and in a mere 33 seconds while landing, the entire hydrogen got fire. In fact, you must be knowing these gory pictures, and that was the end of the airship era. However, the biggest of these airship, I thought I will give you a little bit of history, but the biggest airship, which is Graf Zeppelin II, took to the sky today on September 4th in the year 1938. So it's a historic moment that the largest aircraft ever to fly until today happened on September 14th in the year 1938. So let's move on to the next one. We know helicopters. There are so many different types of helicopters, but there was one person who must be given credit because he was obsessed with flying fans, so to speak. And he was a Russian. His name was Igor Sikorsky. He is a Russian. He was doing a lot of research in the area of vertical takeoff, and later he migrated to US. There he actually produced his first helicopter in the world. In the year 1939, his helicopter took to the sky on September 14th. And so he is sort of father of the helicopters. And helicopters are such versatile machines. They can have lot of utilization in the area of defense as well as civil, as well as in the medical space, as working as air taxis, air ambulances, etc. So the first helicopter was called VS-300, designed and flown by Igor Sikorsky, as it is being shown in this picture. This is the first helicopter which took to the sky. And friends, you may be knowing that there is a very large company today that exists. That company is called Sikorsky. They produce helicopters, and there are so many helicopters they are producing in for defense and for civilian use, and providing to the American and the global population. It all started on September 14th, 1939. Let's move to the next one. This is about Walt Disney. We all are fan of Mickey Mouse, and then if you go to US, or if you go to Korea, Japan, anywhere, I mean, most of the Indians have traveled across the world several times. Indians are the most traveled race in the world today. So I'm sure we have gone to Disneyland, either in the East Coast or West Coast, and you must have taken these or enjoyed these rides which are available in the Disney world across the world. Well, the father of Disneyland is Walt Disney, who created the Mickey Mouse character and several other comical characters, and he actually created this enjoyment for kids, that kind of thing. So the whole enjoyment, comic, musicals, all that came from a gentleman called Walt Disney. And for his contribution, he was awarded the Medal of Freedom at the White House on September 14th, 1964. So finally, he was recognized as a national hero. In fact, he's a global hero because he created something which never existed, because before Walt Disney, nobody cared about cartoon characters or any enjoyment for kids. All that was started by Walt Disney, and he converted those fairy tales into cartoon characters, and as you can see, he built his Disneyland across the world. I mean, he started off with the US, but now Disneyland can be seen across the world, and the shape of the Disneyland is very similar to a fairy castle, as you can see in the background of Walt Disney. So Walt Disney was a very imaginative man. He was also a very sharp business person, so we can actually take some sort of learning from his deeds and his life, because he was totally dedicated on the kids enjoyment subject, which is called kids enjoyment. And he also created these amusement parks where the kids and the family can enjoy, including the adults. And he was awarded the Medal of Freedom on September 14th in the year 1964. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And this is about the David Attenborough. And David Attenborough, as you know, is a big man in terms of wildlife movies. We have all grown watching his National Geographic programs, and he has done so much research in the smallest life form. He has covered, he has gone to the depth of the ocean, height of the mountain. He's traveled so much on his expedition of making these wildlife movies. So his contribution is immense, and he's a very learned man. He is unfortunately no more, I really love his work, his voice, and the way he presents. He's a good presenter, especially presenting the wildlife. I'm sure you will agree with all this, whatever I'm saying. So, next hire of UK monarchy, Prince William. We know that Charles III is the current king now after the Queen. The next one in line is Prince William. So, on September 14th, 2009, David Attenborough and Prince William both officially inaugurated the Darwin Center of Natural History Museum in London. Now, Darwin, as you know, is the creator of the theory of the survival and natural selection. So it is a fitting respect to all of these three characters. One coming from the royal family of England, other one is a self-made man, done a lot of work, brought information about wildlife to the world, and the third gentleman is the originator of the natural selection theory, which is Charles Darwin. So this museum was inaugurated, very good museum, because all the life work of Darwin is on display in original. So if you want to know how this natural selection works, I think this is one place where you must visit and learn about how Charles Darwin came up with this theory. This museum was inaugurated on September 14th in 2009 by David Attenborough, together along with Prince William. So friends, these are the important things which happened today, and something which is worth remembering, and also things like that we can learn from this, because many things happened, and we must remember these dates. And suppose if you're also preparing for some general knowledge exam, I think these are the information which are very important for you. So friends, this is all for today. Before I take your leave, I would like to tell you that we have created a studio. We have been doing a lot of this streaming and video generation for almost 2 years now, and we built a very good studio in our office, and we have actually put something like 18 to 20 devices to produce this kind of content. And we have actually selected the cheapest and the best devices on our website. So if you are also in video production or a streamer, maybe some of these devices may be useful for you. You can visit our website, which is akulmach.com, and hit on the recommended gadgets tab and find the list of these devices and review them. And if you want to buy, if you like some of them, you can buy directly from our website. So I'm sure if you use these selected gadgets, for which we have already done the review and selected very carefully, your video streaming can be even better than what we are producing. So I hope this list works out for you. So friends, I'll take your leave today, only to catch you again tomorrow on the same program, which is This Day That Year. You please take care, and bye bye.